We are exploring the Four Corners region of the United States in an RV. This is day 2 of our adventure. Hello everybody and welcome. We have arrived at the state of Utah and we are taking the isolated State Route 128 with no services for 54 miles. It is called the Upper Colorado River Scenic Byway. Not very scenic yet, in fact it's pretty desolate. We even passed by the ghost town of Cisco, a former typical Old West railroad town. We are crossing this desert. To the left we see the La Salle Mountains in the distance. Getting a glimpse of Fisher Tower, which we'll see up close in a few. As we continue, the terrain becomes increasingly rugged. We join the north bank of the Colorado River. Right before crossing the river, if you look to the left of the screen, we'll get a glimpse of the Dewey Bridge, accidentally burned in 2008. And until then, it was the longest suspension bridge in Utah. Very sad, it got burned allegedly by a child playing with matches. Actually, I'd like to thank one of my viewers, John Clethero, for recommending this route, because I might have missed it otherwise. This scenery on our way to Arches National Park is truly breathtaking. Here we stop a few minutes by the river to admire this view of the Fisher Towers and the mountains in the distance. Let's continue driving through the gorge. We are approaching Castle Valley. We see Castleton Tower in the distance. This place is slightly reminiscent of Monument Valley, where we're going the day after tomorrow, and like Monument Valley, it has been used as the location for many classic Western movies, such as Wagon Master, Rio Grande. It was around here that I originally intended to spend the night boondocking. It is called boondocking when you stay without hookups. Actually, it was going to be through this dirt road. This is all BLM land. BLM stands for Bureau of Land Management, so you are allowed to camp for the night at certain places. The dirt road is a little too rough for the RV, so we go back to State Route 128. Besides, we are already a few hours behind schedule. Stop one more time to take a few pictures. I just can't help myself. Let's continue. A couple of miles down the road, we reach US 191. We turn right, north towards Arches National Park. As you can see, there is already a pretty long line to go into the park. As soon as we enter, we are greeted by all these unique rock formations. We stop at this viewpoint to admire the beauty of this place and to see this view of the Moab Fault from above. We continue going deeper into the park, and everywhere you look, you see something worth pointing the camera at. We stop at this place called La Salle Mountains viewpoint, but pardon my French, screw the La Salle Mountains. My goodness, look at this valley! This in front of us is called the Organ, to its left the Three Gossips. This whole collection of stone columns is called the Courthouse. We continue driving along the scenic drive, and although we would like to stop at every single viewpoint, we have one main attraction in mind. Towards the far side of the park, towards the east, this is one of those places where the camera just doesn't do it justice. It is impossible to capture the grandeur, the magnificence of these massive rock formations. We pass by the petrified dunes and the Great Wall. And the window arches. Of course, we must make a quick stop by the Balanced Rock, one of the most well-known formations of this park. It looks like it is about to tip over, but trust me, it's been there for a long time. We continue and eventually make a right. This is the main attraction of the park, so the parking lot is not surprisingly very crowded.
Is there one here or is there a car there?
We are the luckiest motherfuckers on earth. So lucky to find that spot. It was meant to be. We are hiking to the Delicate Arch. Yes, we out of shape indoor flatlanders are about to embark in this great adventure. First, we pass by the remains of the Wolf Ranch, built in 1888 by a Civil War veteran, John Wesley Wolf. We will stop again on the way back to see it, as well as some Ute petroglyphs that are nearby. The whole hike is a little over 3 miles round trip, and the sign said moderate to strenuous, and let me tell you, it is really hot. We chose the worst possible time of the day, noon. We're almost having second thoughts, but we are prepared. We have plenty of water and are in good spirits.
We have to go all the way up there.
This first half mile is not so bad. The terrain can be a little irregular, but there's not too much elevation gained or lost. Here comes the hard part, the slick rock slab. It is said to be very slippery in the winter and during rainy season, but today is not too bad.
This is perhaps the most strenuous part of this hike. A little more than halfway there. We'll make it.
We see the La Salle Mountains on the way up. The steep trail is marked by these stacks of rocks called cairns. We continue. The next part of the trail is more rocks and sand and no shade.
Rocks and sand. Hard surface. Where's Adam?
I don't know where Adam is.
Eventually, we reach this section along this ledge with this wall to the right and the desert to our left. A little scary, but the trail is wide enough, so as long as we play it safe, I think we'll be alright. As we pass the frame arch, we know we are almost there.
This is not it.
My goodness, look at this great sandstone desert landscape.
Bye.
And here it is, ladies and gentlemen, Delicate Arch, practically a symbol of Utah, definitely its most famous rock. It is painted on the Utah license plate and on the sign that greets you at the state line.
At last, we have arrived at the Delicate Arch. And here it is. Isn't that wonderful? Beautiful place.
I lay down under the arch for a few seconds to cherish the moment, if you will.
Okay, it's time to head back.
Okay, let's head back down. But let's stop by the window arch first.
And here I am. Here I am at the double arch. This is another great view. I have no idea how I'm gonna get back down there.
Beautiful.
We'll see.
The good thing about the return trip is that we are going mostly downhill. Down and then we go.
Now it's just. I mean, people actually.
Okay, let's check out the petroglyphs now. These are historic Ute images depicting men on horseback, which were introduced by the Spanish. We cross the creek and once again we see the Wolf Ranch. We can even see inside the ranch. Not a whole lot to see though. Let's get back in the RV. We continue along the scenic drive towards this area called the Fiery Furnace, a natural labyrinth of narrow passages between sandstone walls and a very difficult hike. We continue driving west. On the right, we'll see the Skyline Arch. We are approaching this area called the Devil's Garden, with more trails and natural arches. They even have a campground, so we know where we're going to stay the next time we come this way. The area is pretty congested, same as the Delicate Arch, and the campground is full, of course. And honestly, I don't have the stamina nor the time to do another serious hike today. I do get off the RV, check out the crows, and what the heck, let's walk a little bit on this Devil's Garden trail. The whole trail is 7.2 miles, way too long to start right now. But it is only 0.8 miles to the Landscape Arch and 2 miles to the Double O Arch, so I'm torn between my desire to see these arches and my own exhaustion. And although I know I'm going to regret it, I decide to go back. Off we go, reluctantly saying goodbye to Arches National Park. We stop for a few minutes by the Fiery Furnace trailhead. This hike is so strenuous and dangerous that a hiking permit is required, and they even recommend that you take a guided tour on your first time. That's it. We're getting out of the park. The courthouse towers bidding us farewell. I stop one last time by the Park Avenue trailhead, and off to Moab we go. The small city of Moab caters to all the tourists, hikers, off-roaders, rafters, bikers, rock climbers, and all the people who come to visit the two major national parks of the area. Arches, where we just were, and Canyonlands, which we will visit someday, some other time. We buy supplies at the KOA campground, fill up the tank, and off we go towards Cortez. We encountered this arch on the side of the road and naturally we stopped for the photo op. A little over 2 hours later, we arrive at the Sundance RV Resort in Cortez, Colorado. We end the day at this Mexican restaurant called El Burro Pancho. The food is great, the margaritas are perfect, and it feels overall authentic. Tomorrow, we will visit the Mesa Verde National Park, which is nearby, a home to many of the ancient Pueblo people dwellings. We will pass by the Four Corners Monument and spend the night at the Goosenecks State Park in Utah. That's the subject of the next video. Please do subscribe so you don't miss out on any of that. And until then, thank you so much for watching and see you on the road.